continuing my chat with the stars of the film August Rush, now hanging out with Jonathan Rhys Meyers. How are you, sir?
Hey, how are you? Good to meet you, Lance.
Good to meet you, man. So, talk about your part in the movie.
Well, I play Lewis Connolly in August Rush, who's a young singer-songwriter. I didn't want to make him a genius singer-songwriter. He's not Jeff Buckley.
Okay.
He's what I would call a journeyman.
Okay.
You know,
he's trying to be Jeff Buckley, but not there yet.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's even sort of like big superstardom. I don't think even if you gave it to Lewis Connolly, he wouldn't want it. He just likes playing his music. He likes doing his gigs. You know, it's about something else for him.
Right.
And he meets this girl. This girl is just, you know, you've seen Kerry Russell, so you can imagine what it would be like to a young Irishman. It's like this Grace Kelly, pure, you know, and a cellist, so she's a purist musician, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, you know, it's that fantasy, I suppose, that you have, you know, the other side of the tracks. You know, I'm from the criminal class, she's upper class, she's got some money, probably house in the Hamptons and all this sort of thing. So we meet and we have this, you know, thing that produces a baby.
Right. Kids, ask your parents. So anyway.
Yeah, ask your parents. Ask your parents before you do that. And I want to meet her the next day at the plaza. So she's staying at the plaza. And so I go there and I see her getting into a limo and going. So I immediately think it's the age-old story. Yeah, she went slumming with a guy for a night. And so I can't really forget this girl. She's just that dream girl. You know, that one girl that, you know, you just didn't get to spend enough time with.
Right.
And it just, you know, this haunts him for years and years, and he decides that he wants to go back to New York and find this girl, or Chicago, and find this girl, and you know, and just get a definitive. He just wants an answer. You know, either you want to be with me, you don't want to be with me, or what really did happen, and why did you leave, and you know, these answers that aren't answered for him, and he ends up finding a hell of a lot more.
Yeah. Well, this movie, it's about music. That's the driving force.
Yeah.
Music is a character in itself in the movie.
Sure.
So for you, you know, this isn't the first time you've been involved in a movie, playing a musician, Velvet Goldmine. So, I mean, were you drawing on past characters, past experience, or just your own musical ability?
I play the guitar. Yeah. My brothers are musicians. Actually, my brother plays my drummer in the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's actually my real brother playing the drummer. I flew him in from Ireland. He's fantastic, Jamie. My dad's a country musician. He played with a band called Hector Pickaxe and the Floating Crowbars.
Get out of town.
Yeah, he is. You know,
that's awesome. That's great.
So, you know, my musical upbringing, because, you know, I'm Irish. You know, we all play or sing to some element or some, you know, degree. So just being an Irish musician was kind of just bread and butter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I tried to do, you know, I made a particular choice just to make him a bread and butter musician, because I think it's just more interesting than to make him some sort of, you know, woe is me sort of rock god singer songwriter. You know, it's kind of like that you could go there, but I don't think it would have really been good for the story. I think the real musical genius is passed to the son.
Right. Got it.
And so the father will always be an above average journeyman.
There's a scene in the movie where you're with the son that you don't know. You're with Freddie Highmore playing the guitar, going back and forth. What was that scene like to shoot? I mean,
that was great.
He seems like a brilliant kid.
He is. He's fantastic. You know, he's just. You know, it was one of the first times that I was working with a kid that was, you know, so much younger. And you know, you kind of don't know what to expect. You know that he's a kid.
Yeah.
But you know that he's got a CV that most grown actors would kill for.
Yeah.
So he's got both these elements. He's very, very sweet and nice, like just a normal kid, but that's his upbringing. He's got very strong, very supportive parents. They're not pushy. He goes to a really good school in North London, so he's got all these elements to help him stay grounded. But the reality of the situation is he's one of the top young actors in the world at the moment, and you know, he's had a lot of very, very successful films. So you also, when you're talking to him, you have to remember this element that he is educated way beyond his 14 years,
right?
Because he's had to exist in that compromised world of film.
Yeah.
But he still managed to hold on to what it's like to be a 14-year-old London boy. So yeah, it's really nice.
It's a good scene too. It's a good scene in the movie.
It's a beautiful film. It's actually my favorite scene.
Getting back to the whole Ireland thing, did you really? I mean, you and the director, you're both from Ireland, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, was there a great connection there on set?
Yeah,
constantly.
Well, there was. There was a bit of a bond, you know, because you know she could always look to me for, you know, it's for just like support more than anything else. And you know, I'd be able to walk up to her and we'd be able to talk so fast in our own sort of like in our own way, and the crew just wouldn't get it, you know. Or I'd come in and you know, if I wanted to say something to Kirsten that I didn't want anybody else to say, I always my Dublin accent thickened. So it was really, so you know, there was this one day we were doing a scene and somebody did something, and I wanted to explain to Kirsten that, you know, I thought the guy was an idiot, but I didn't want the guy to know that I thought he was an idiot. So I was like, Kirsten, this fella's a tick. Which Kirsten will get. Yeah. She's like, I know.
In my world, that's a bug that just sucks blood.
And in Dublin, it's a tick.
All right, got it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So little things like that, we were able to communicate. It's almost like a different language, you know?
Yeah. Down south, we have our own different language, too.
That I know.
But it's a little bit slower, not as fast.
Sure, I know. Yeah. So I shot Elvis in New Orleans.
Yeah, okay.
And I lived in Missouri for like 7 months.
Yeah,
so which I suppose would be middle America, as middle as you can get, actually.
Yeah, you can pick it up though.
Kansas City. I lived in Kansas City for 7 months making a Civil War film. So
yeah. Now you, speaking of living, do you still live in Ireland now and Los Angeles? You split time?
L.A.
I got it.
That's where I live.
Spent some time there.
Yeah, it's nice. I bought a house in Nichols Canyon. It's really peaceful. It's really quiet. You know, I get to do what I get to do. You know, nice weather. These are the reasons to live in L.A.
Before you get out of here, music. Going to continue on with some music on the outside of the acting scene?
I don't know. You know, I'm not going to say I won't, because I don't want to be a liar and be interviewed with 3 years down the road where I'm trying to plug my album. That's not really that good, but you do me a favor.
I'll do it.
So I don't want to sort of like say no, but at the same time I don't want to say yes. Yeah. Maybe if something came up, but what I would want it to be is like, I'd not want it to be my ego.
Okay.
You got to be very careful.
Just
sort of like
music.
It's just got to be about, you know, playing music because you want to play music. If it's about my vanity, then it's going to work. It's going to suck.
It's going to work. Well,
you know.
Good job on the movie, man.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations on everything. Good luck to you. Jonathan Rhys Meyers, everybody.